Yeah, got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show.
Yeah, so Bongino and Cash Patel came out. People calling them sellouts.
Why would they call him that?
Because they said Epstein killed himself.
But before we get to today's video, don't forget, we got a new giveaway. Ram Diesel, $2,500, $10,000 in cash. Get in it to win. All you got to do is go to my website, pick up you some damn good coffee or some of this methylene blue I'm sipping on.
All right.
Let's get to the video.
All right, so we're going to listen to that statement. But there's this old video of Bongino on Timcast. And it's coming back to haunt him because now it seems like he's a sellout.
Yeah.
For this statement I'm about to show you. Check this out.
Okay.
Right-wing political commentator Mindy Robinson going after FBI Director Kash Patel and his deputy Dan Bongino, calling them in a post on X, quote, effing sellouts. That's strong words for fellow travelers. The reason is, she says it there in her next line, Epstein didn't kill himself. That's what they're saying.
She's one of many in the MAGA world blasting the Bureau's brass after they gave this
MAGA world, common sense world. Yeah.
answer about the controversial death over the weekend on Maria Bartiromo's show. Take a listen.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
The 180
nobody
for Patel
dies
and
like that.
Bongino.
Yeah. No.
Have given credit to the idea that there's more to Epstein's death than a basic suicide.
And even some supporters of the duo are saying that they are not buying this official line. Alex Jones said in a post on X, overall, I think Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are doing a great job, but on this claim that Epstein's death is not a cover-up, I call BS. So, yes, some people who have closely scrutinized the death of Jeffrey Epstein are not put at ease, even though they generally like Dan Bongino and Kash Patel.
Yeah, and here's the video of Dan Bongino implying that Epstein was a Mossad agent.
The Epstein thing, I got a lot to talk. This Epstein thing really it's like a tick burrowing under my skin. I get a call.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is going to get hairy. You guys ready?
Yes.
No more school. Yes. This is like live YouTube. You ready for this? I don't know if you guys are ready. I get a call, I don't know, about 4 years ago. It's from, let's say, a friend. Prior line of work thing, right?
Friend.
Guy says, listen. And this guy who calls me is an unimpeachable source. This guy's not like some ham and egg or tomato can guy throwing out some theory about a UFO he saw 72 years ago, whatever. This is like a legit, no-nonsense guy. Guy you trust with your wife, kid, and car, right?
Yeah,
he says, I got sent on a temporary assignment once. And on that assignment, I got sent out with on the WCD detail, William Clinton detail. And I knew this guy well. And he says, Dan, I got to share this with someone. He says, I go on a plane and Bill, Clinton gets on the plane with this guy. And it turns out later the guy's Epstein. Now, this guy I'm talking to, this source, he don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is. He's just getting on the plane doing the thing, the whole, protection gig, right? He says, I get on the plane and there's these girls who are obviously not of age who are on this plane. They're clearly young. These are not women. These are girls. And he says, I see Clinton disappear into the back he goes, I don't know what happened. I'm not saying what happened because all I know is he disappeared and these girls were back there or whatever. And he said they land at the next stop, wherever it was. And he goes up to the boss on the detail and he says, I ain't getting back on this plane. Because he's a temp. He's not used to whatever Clinton was up to with the whole shenanigans thing. And this guy's clear as the driven snow, man. He don't want to mess around with this. He says, whatever just happened back there, I don't want any piece of it. They sent him home. They sent that guy home. And he was never tempted to that detail again. Now, remember, all those Blackberries on that detail. Here's where the story gets super weird. The guy tells me, months or a couple weeks later, when you lose property in the Secret Service, an email goes out. It'll say like, hey, I lost his phone. And it gets logged into NCIC or whatever it is. And everybody knows. So basically, if you find this guy's gun, God forbid, or his phone, it's now effectively stolen property, right? All of a sudden, all the BlackBerries on that detail for the agents start showing up like, oh, this guy lost his BlackBerry. Holy shit. Wow, that's so crazy. How'd that happen? I'm like, no. He says, yes. He says it was the craziest thing. Like, oh, look, Agent Joey Bag of Donuts, missing BlackBerry, missing BlackBerry. This is around the whole time, like the Clinton thing's going on. So fast forward this story, right? He tells me that. About a year and a half after that, I'm in a green room at Fox, and I'm not going to say who because they didn't give me permission to share it. But, well, the story, but I don't know who they are. Says, you know, Epstein's an intelligence asset for people in the Middle East, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, you sure of that? The person, let's say, is like, I'm absolutely sure of that. That he's either a witting or unwitting asset, intelligence asset. Meaning his plane and that island, the cameras, there's a big assumption out there that these videotapes were exclusively in the custody of Epstein. That's a huge mistake. The reason they wanted this story to go away is because there's an assumption like, oh yeah, Epstein had him. No, he wasn't the only one who had him, according to this source. These assets, that's why this blackmail story makes so much sense. Which Middle Eastern countries they are, I don't know, but this person who's a very...
Which Middle Eastern country? Well, he's Jewish. Oh, he's an asset for Iran? Who could be an asset for?
Maybe Iraq. Maybe Afghanistan. I don't know.
Maybe it's Pakistan.
It can't be Israel. They're our biggest ally.
very, very good reporter. I mean, aces, right? Swore Epstein was either a witting or unwitting intelligence asset, and they may have had his plane wired up, and they're the ones who have all this stuff. So the point is, to sum it up, how do you know some of these countries aren't going to some of these power players who aren't making decisions? Because, hey, you wouldn't want this video out there, right? How do you know?
100%.
I mean,
Let's get personal with Mr.
Look at the comment. Bongino is a sellout.
Hey, Dan, it's Israel. And he works for the FBI, and he doesn't know that?
Yeah.
Doesn't know that?
Yeah, so
Come on.
I don't
that
think
big of an asset, everybody knows that's true. For him to be able to off himself, you would be under suicide watch. You would have a camera on you.
yeah, they wanted him to kill himself.
Yeah, didn't the cameras
But
turn
I
off?
think somebody helped him do it.
Yeah. It was an assisted suicide. Yeah, the Dr. Kevorkian went in there. Help me, doc. And for some odd reason, I think he might have been Jewish. I don't know. Yeah, but man, and I can pretty, when they was saying that yeah, he offed himself, you could tell that you're just saying that to make this thing
You think
go
so?
away.
I like both these guys.
I like both of them too.
Yeah.
But they are in bed with Israel.
Yeah, yeah.
They love Israel.
He's,
and that's a conflict of interest. Whenever you have, like, that's why I say, if you're going to be an elected official in the United States, you got to be America first all the way. You can't have stronger ties. You can't have another tie to another country because there's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
People can use you, manipulate you.
Yeah.
People can get away with things. And if you're like pro-Israel, like I want the Jews to have their own land, but I'm America first. I don't think Israel should have any influence over our government. But there's a lot of people in our government that's dual citizens from that country. That is a huge
And they have allegiance for Israel.
Yeah, that's a huge conflict of interest. I have nothing against the Jewish faith or any of that. I'm just saying, as far as when it comes to America, I want politicians that are citizens of the United States of America, not no other country.
Yeah.
Just put it to you this way. Let's say a majority, half of our country is have dual citizens with Mexico or Russia or any other country.
Who are their allegiance going to be to?
Who their allegiance going to be?
Yeah. The country they're from.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we take a lot of money from AIPAC, right? Whenever there's another country donating to a politician, that's against election rules.
Yeah, you can't take money from Russia.
You can't take money from
That's
Russia. You
horrible.
can't take money from Iran, but we can take money from Israel. Why? because they like to say that they're our biggest ally.
Yeah.
I just think that's a talking point for both sides.
Yeah. Yeah. For the record, I don't think he killed himself.
No, of course he didn't. And anybody believed that he offed himself, you're a moron.
I don't even know why they would come out and say that he offed himself. Like this whole thing with the Epstein files coming out, that was all that was political theater. And on the right, here on the right, we just ate it up. They ain't releasing those because there's conservatives, there's Republicans. It exposes both sides, and this story alone proves to everybody what George Carlin, the comedian, it's a big club, and we're not in it.
Yeah.